preface this video by stating that I was the only one that reached out to everyone involved in this story, and that the victims weren't just used by Destiny, but by YouTubers trying to frame themselves as heroes. One of them is still lying about what he did. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I personally care about the victims either. I don't know them. However, I do have the basic...
Fuck President Sunday, by the way. President Sunday is... he's a debate pedophile. Low-key. On the low.
Human decency to not try and sabotage them. I pride myself on doing a good job, and this video is finally up to those standards. So enjoy! Destiny is a political streamer that has framed himself as a moral authority. I've gone on his shows, cited his appearances often when covering the Red Pill. He's framed himself as someone who's fighting for respecting women.
I think there's an intention within
I respect whammon.
DDG, from what I can tell, from what you say and what people say, to make women feel comfortable in this space. Is that correct?
There's an intention from me. There's probably an intention from part of my community.
He thinks teenagers should get dating advice from him rather than their own stupid parents.
Bro, when he said that, I was so... Because I remember this conversation with Abba, and even like 1 or 2 years ago when it first happened, I was like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, if you are underage and you have what you feel is like advice you need, whether it's dating, whether it's health, whatever it is, don't go to your favorite streamer. Don't. Go to your parents. Your parents or your doctors, you know, a trusted adult. A streamer is not a trusted adult. like, and the fact that he calls them retarded parents is just like, excuse me, dude. Like, it's...
comes up to you and starts saying some weird stuff. You just sit there with this 13-year-old and then you start having conversations extended about them about dating.
Yeah, I have before. What do you mean? No, would I tell if a young person came up to me and they were asking me questions about some like boy problems or something? Yeah, I'd probably say, yeah, of course. What do you mean, I'm a 35-year-old man? Of course I'm gonna have better advice for them than some random high school person. Yeah, of course. If a 15-year-old girl came up to me and she's like, there's some weird thing going on with a boy in my high school, I'd say, oh no, don't talk to me, honey. Go ask another 15-year-old boy or ask your retarded fucking mom and dad who are gonna tell you to never talk to any boys ever. No, what the why would I not talk to a person? Wait, what?
Yet Destiny has a longer list of women.
Like, don't get me wrong, giving advice is not bad, but it's like to say like you're the authority, you're the moral authority that has more authority than somebody's parents is crazy. Like, I'm not gonna say like you shouldn't give advice. You should know what you're doing. Like, if you're talking to somebody underage, you probably should be a little careful about what you're talking about. Like, you don't want to be a weirdo, but at the same time, I don't think that giving advice is bad, but to be like, yeah, you're retarded parents, you're retarded fucking parents, what do they know? Like, just because your parents sucked, big dog, doesn't mean everybody's does.
He's had sexual interactions with that now hate him than any of these guys. Almost all of which have been labeled as crazy, unhinged psychos, liars.
Yeah, like, I can be a pretty cold motherfucker, and yeah, you know, me and Malene have problems, but I don't think I f***ed at all in this. I'm not running around, screen sharing people's nudes, calling people ugly behind their backs while telling...
Yeah, buddy, you're not. You're not. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I think that you are. I think that you have been for 10 plus years. If I remember correctly, you, didn't you, wasn't it like a 15-year-old girl, 16-year-old girl that you shared her pictures in like a private chat? Like bikini pictures? Sure, they weren't, you know, CSAM, but like, they was swimwear pictures. And you were like, oh my god, it's making it so hard not to break the law. Like, what?
Telling them I want to f*** them because they're like trying to go up on shows that I'm like a producer of?
And not only that, yeah, that's the other thing. I don't remember if it was Cherry. I think it was Cherry. Cherry was one of his orbiters that made like a whole big thing about, oh, I never slept with Destiny to be an orbiter. I never did anything. The leaks happened. Turns out she did. And it's like, bro is literally the Harvey Weinstein of the streaming world. He got so mad when somebody called him that. And we all know now why. It's because he was the Harvey Weinstein of the streaming world.
But recent leaks showed Destiny sharing sex tapes of his past partners without their consent to a 19-year-old named Rose in an attempt to get laid. I can't help but wonder, was there any truth behind their stories?
Things that's been done to me.
Wait, isn't he also the one that said talking to a 19-year-old would be the equivalent of talking to a 15-year-old? Huh. It's a little weird.
Without consent or anything. that has been my past 5 years.
Then there's the aspect of how these stories broke. Coming from two YouTubers, President Sunday and Beckett, who never reached out to the victim, were never given permission to share any of this. Yet they did it anyway, confirming it's her in the leaks to the general public, framing her as a suicide baiter for saying she'd kill herself if her parents found out.
Pixie did the worst thing that someone in her position could do. Rather than seek legal recourse or make a public statement denouncing the violation of her consent and dignity that these leaks represented,
She was literally doing both of them.
Yeah, what the fuck? I didn't see, and I thought President Sunday apparently had a good video from what everybody was saying, but I think people were just trying to trounce on Destiny, because President Sunday was, I think, the first one to get a video out. And it's like, if he's claiming that that was her kind of motive behind it, and like, basically that she's just baiting, is crazy. To, like, it's almost like he's running defense for Destiny by saying that. Like, it's like, bro, you hate Destiny, and you're almost sweeping for him with that statement. Like, what is wrong with you?
Those things.
she seems to have ultimately chosen to try and profit from the situation by extorting Destiny.
This guy didn't even try to understand the full story before making a video victim shaming her. While her parents certainly know now thanks to Sunday's journalism, if she dies, she dies. A risk he's told
If she dies, she dies.
be willing to take on behalf of making his YouTube video. After Pixie was forced to go public, she would have other women reach out, saying they also had their nudes shared without their consent. One girl even claimed she filed a police report on Destiny for secretly recording them having sex, which if true is such a violation of another person's privacy. I genuinely hope he faces criminal consequences for it. This is not the first time this accusation has come up.
The way that Lauren keeps saying this is that like is implying that I'm like recording me people or recording me like
Which he did.
sexual stuff or something like that. That's how she like implies it. When Lauren says it over and over again, that's what she's referring to.
The response he gave on Reddit as well as in his stream come off as absurd, like he's the victim.
A lot of vulture culture streams tonight. A lot of clout hungry people that wanted to spend 12 hours reacting to this are going to be very disappointed. And I'm
Why does he talk like that? Like he's on drugs all the time. The way Lauren did it is like
sure they'll have their own conspiratorial reasons for why I'm saying what I am saying.
His friends have all disavowed him. His podcast host says he told his wife to leave him.
I've heard this. I don't believe Dan said this. Dan sweeps for Destiny way too hard. Dan makes way too much money off of Destiny. Even like just by being adjacent to him, he became more popular. And like I understand that he had a small business and like he made plenty of money with that business, but he's apparently making a lot of money with Destiny now. So I don't believe he ever told Melina this. I mean, Melina could come out and deny this. Maybe he did, but I just don't believe that Dan told her any of this.
This also, I think Steven was a f***ing really shitty husband to Melina. Okay, I'm coming out here saying it right now. I don't think Steve would deny it either. But
and I mean, don't get me wrong. I can get why. Let me just say this, and I'll say it. I'll give my rebuttal. Why didn't you come out and say it publicly, right? When they were husband and wife, why didn't you say something about how toxic it was? Don't get me wrong. I do understand like wanting to respect your friend's privacy and their spouse's privacy, but there was a point, right? Obviously, because they got a divorce, there was a point where it's like you could have came out and maybe just publicly said something and got his community to get on his ass a little bit. Not saying that would have fixed everything, but I think some heat from his community about how much of a shitty husband he was, even in his type of relationship, like might have got him to be like, hold on, I wasn't expecting that response.
But it's not good the way that he was. Like I talked with Melina a lot of times, and she was crying and miserable and everything else. And Steve would say, "What do you want me to say? I'm a selfish motherfucker. That's why I'm in the relationship that I'm in." He was like, what should I do? Should I leave? And I'll tell you this, I never was like, I was never like, no, you should stay and make things out. I told her multiple times, like, listen, if you feel like this is an abusive relationship, get the fuck out of there immediately.
Acting like he's betrayed because nobody reached out to him.
I want to write up a list of all the people, actually, hold on, because there were some people that messaged me to like figure out like what was actually going on before they kind of decided to do all this like crazy public stuff about it. I just want to read off a list of those people. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, and that's all of them. That was a little bit shocking as well, but okay.
So I reached out, confronted him, asking him pointed questions, and his answers were disappointing. So much so, it made me wonder why he would want anyone to reach out at all. His enemies would use all of this to take victory laps on Destiny.
First of all, okay, I would say that I'm pretty confident that everyone who was featured in these videos also sent videos of them.
Like, bro fucked up so bad he makes Hassan look like a decent person. Like, think about that. Think about that.
And other people as well. But nobody talks about that.
Okay. Classic, I just made up a no you defense, but that's cool.
Hassan is getting a W over the guy who was trying to get him banned for the past 3 months. Painful. Destiny would throw away all of his credibility because he wanted to goon. This is the sort of video I finish and I just want to shake my head in disappointment. I need Z-Biotic pre-alcohol to get through
I feel that, but
a couple drinks, scientists to
with that.
gut. It ends on to break and get a these, hit a 3-mile
Get your
run.
money, Willy
Had
Mac.
nothing to do. The QR
Get your money.
money back guarantee sponsoring this video. For background information, all these leaks are coming from a 19-year-old girl named Rose is Coming.
That kind of shit is literally f***ing disgusting. That he would try to trap a little girl and I don't want to be presumptuous. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry if this upsets you because you're 19, or I'm sorry if this upsets you because you're 22 or something, right? Or if you're some legal guy or whatever, you know? When you're 19, you're a little kid, okay?
he literally is saying it. He literally said it years ago. Years ago. Years ago. You're literally a kid. You're literally a kid.
Now, if you're 22, a 19-year-old's not a kid to you, okay? I'm 29. A 19-year-old might as well be a 15-year-old to me. It's all the fucking same, dude.
Well, now he's 36 and still talking to 19-year-olds. This Rose person rather get hacked or leak the videos herself. We still don't know for sure. And all of these people's most embarrassing moments are now cemented online. Now, it's worth noting that Destiny didn't share these images because he wanted to embarrass anyone. He was trying to goon with Rose.
Just because of some legal age of consent, whatever bullshit, I have about as much in common with like an 18-year-old, 19-year-old freshman in school as I would a fucking sophomore in high school. Any type of inclination.
So, like I said, he's the motherfucker that came out and said a 19-year-old is equivalent to a 15-year-old. Why are you talking to a 19-year-old?
Towards any of those people is real.
And see, the biggest problem is not that Destiny likes sex. The problem is he plays a moral, like, how do you say, like he plays like a moral role model of like, this is how you should live. I mean, he says like his relationship stuff, not for everybody, you shouldn't do it, like it's already hard enough on him, like blah blah blah, but like everything else is like a moral high road with him, including things like sharing nudes and stuff like that, and like private, like he even got on somebody's head about sharing his private sex life, and then like went nuclear with them and was like, well, yeah, even if they just all they did was, you know, talk about what I like to do during sex, like sharing nudes at that point is the same. So like, you understand that just even talking about what somebody's fetish is, if they're not comfortable, you know, going on about it, it's an intrusion of privacy. And while he might have been trading with the girl to just like, you know, like, oh, try to get her to sleep with him, like, he still betrayed people's trust and privacy by sharing those with that other girl. It's like, and you broke a law. You broke a federal law.
Really fucking weird.
I'm listening to clips of Destiny from last year defending himself from women saying that he's secretly recording them.
Lauren keeps like typing messages that make it sound like I'm secretly recording people having sex. That's what it sounds like.
And then, oh look, what am I seeing on Twitter? This girl named...
How did I do that? Wait, what did I do? Shoot. No, what did I do?
And Sherry saying...
No. No, what did I do? Boys, I fucked up. Boys, I fucked up. Hold on, boys. Hold on, boys. I don't know why it muted, but we fixed it. We fixed it.
Saying Destiny's secret...
It sound like
Sorry.
I'm
Sorry. That's on me. I don't know what I did, but that's on me.
secretly recording people having sex.
I might have hit me.
That's what it sounds like.
And then, oh look, what am I seeing on Twitter? This girl named Sherry saying Destiny secretly recorded her and shared it with people. One of the...
It's just like... Brother.
Leaked DMs is Destiny showing audio of a dude he hooked up with, saying this just ended with him finishing. Again,
That's right, I forgot. There's a video of him shucking schlong. Apparently that's Nick Fuentes, and we running with that. That was Nick Fuentes that he was shucking up. That was definitely Nick Fuentes. I don't care. I don't care. Sue me, Nick. You got your shit sucked up by Destiny. Sue me. Fuck you.
audio scuffed because my phone was in my pocket. It was in your pocket? Was it there because he didn't know you were recording? This guy did an entire arc arguing with red pillars on boundaries with his wife and how you should treat women. These videos were not shared with consent. One of the victims was Pixie, who heavily trusted Destiny. She described herself as extremely sexually inexperienced and sheltered. I had multiple long conversations regarding consent and boundaries with Destiny. Has all of these conversations about consent and boundaries and then does this without consent. Amazing. The fact that Destiny didn't maliciously share these videos might matter legally. That will have to be determined, but it doesn't really matter for the victims, now does it? Their nudes are out there for their parents, employers, and friends to see. The leaks happened in November. By the end of December, Kiwi Farms, as well as many other creators, knew who the participants were. There were group chats talking about it. The most prominent victim in this story, Pixie, confronted Destiny about sharing her nudes without consent. I'm super sorry, there's literally zero excuses. In DMs, Aaron wrote to Destiny, "You didn't leak it maliciously, you distributed it non-consensually." Yeah, I know.
And I'm not even gonna lie, bro, like, I'm glad I stopped being a Destiny fan, like, when the Palestine stuff happened. Like, October 7th stuff happened, and he completely flipped for Israel. Like, I'm glad that made me distance myself from him. And it's like, I mean, I always knew he's weird, right? I think anybody that watched him knew he was a little weird. But, like, it's like, dude, you, how you can't come back from this. The fact that he's still streaming, and the last time I tuned into a stream to talk shit, like, he still had, like, 10,000 viewers was crazy to me. And it's like, even he said, don't be the guy to defend this. Don't be the guy to come out and try to defend me for what I did. And it's like, yeah, because that would be stupid. like you would look like a damn fool for fucking defending what you did. And it's like, you know, I think he offered to pay Cherry. I think that's definitely like a big, like, motherfucker's guilty, right? Like that's a big tell that he's guilty of it. I mean, literally the videos came out. Like, I haven't seen. Oh wait, no, actually, I have seen the video of him shucking his meat. For like a second, I was wiped up. I was like, I don't need to see that. But like, I haven't seen anything else, which is, of course, for all the other victims, that's good. I mean, you shouldn't look for that. You know, these people didn't want those videos and shit shared anyways. But it's like, man, if he has a career after this, I'll lose faith in humanity, especially like the liberal, like the liberal side of politics. Like, it's like, bro, I mean, I guess maybe it'd be like red pillars at that point and like conservatives, but like, I don't know. I feel like there's plenty of shit libs still.
I have severely damaged her, confirming yes, he did do this, making him come off like a complete fraud. He has hours of content telling people how to live their lives, that they have no moral standards. Meanwhile, he's going on trips to Israel with his friend Lonerbox, while pocketing nudes of a girl he was having a thing with. There's a video of Pixie's dad thanking Destiny for being a good friend.
First of all, many thanks for being a friend to my daughter.
Yeah, no problem.
She doesn't have any friends.
That's not true. You're
No,
so
she has a
mean.
shit ton of friends.
Okay.
But she appreciates your friendship.
Cool.
And I appreciate that that you are friends.
Thanks. Well, I try my best. I'm a friendly person, you know.
Bruh, this is painful to watch. Pixie is talking to Kyla here. They're friends, but Kyla has a conflict of interest. Her and her husband moved from Canada to work with Destiny. They uprooted their whole lives for this. Pixie emphasizes, Steven has to face the consequences proportional to his actions. I want this to be the most expensive mistake of his life. I'm essentially asking him to punish himself in a way I don't think he will or agree with without the law getting involved. I don't have a dollar amount from the top of my head. It just has to be enough for the rest of his life. If he thinks of the word nude, he associates it with the amount of money he lost. $1 million is a price that gets thrown around in later DMs, and upon reading that, me and a lot of other people initially laughed, but then I thought about it. If somebody leaked my nudes, I would want their head. I can't have that, so $1 million from a millionaire sounds fair enough. Kyla then starts to look like she's protecting Destiny in these messages. It wasn't clear to me before that this is what you wanted specifically. My understanding is it was more of a sense of rehabilitation. Now, this was only one leak. You know how many times he's probably shared these nudes and not gotten caught? But Kyla's like, Pixie, you don't understand. He's super sorry. In an interview Kyla gave Tom, it comes off as her looking out for Destiny.
Just to me, like,
Recording somebody and then without their knowledge and leaking it is like a
Even he don't want to. Even he's like, why are you defending him?
full on, like it's a pretty like sexually invasive crime. Leaking somebody's nudes, I think, is also really bad. To be clear, like it is really bad. But the issue is that I think it.
Full stop. It is really bad. Why? What else is there to say? What else? Like, what are you gonna fucking say, Kyla? Like, what? I think that's erudite, right? And I think she's sweeping for him like Dan because they make a lot of money off of the podcast. I don't know if like he'll go over that, but I think that's the rumor I've heard is they make like above $30,000 a month on the podcast, which I hope stops. But if not, again, it's just losing faith in like the liberals, man. Like, like it's like Jesus Christ.
I think it's fundamentally just a more common issue that people do. It's definitely, in my experience, not the first time that somebody has like leaked nudes. I think it's not okay. Like when you hear about like guys like showing other guys like tits that some girls shunt her, like I think it's gross, and there's a reason I don't look at it.
I mean that's that's I agree it's less severe, but
so this isn't
a bunch of high schoolers, right? This is a 35-year-old guy who's doing this.
Sure, but the law and morals are different, right?
Boys will be boys is a crazy statement coming from someone whose last video is about feminism. She's like, only if Destiny does the worst thing possible will it
Boys will be boys is crazy.
Matter to me.
The way I'm getting painted here is like really, really far from the truth, and I don't really know why.
You look like Ghislaine Maxwell.
I know.
Brutal. She says,
I know. Bro, Tom on a roll. Tom on a roll. Shout out Turkey Tom, man. I remember watching him before he even had his Destiny orbit. I didn't think he was gonna blow up like that, and then he blew up. Partially because of Destiny. I just hope he didn't sleep with him, because all of a sudden Turkey Tom is bi now, which, you know, no problem with that. It's just like hangs out with Destiny one time, you know.
That Steven showed accountability and a step-by-step plan on how he was going to correct all of this.
Basically, the moment that I saw like remorsefulness, accountability, and like a step-by-step plan of like how he was going to correct the issue, that's when I was like, okay, I can still work with this person, because it's like the try and the accountability that matters to me.
What was his plan? Because all I saw was...
No. You distance yourself immediately. What are you talking about? Immediately you distance yourself. What? Where should I put my camera? Probably should put it like... Hold on. I'll put it up here for now. But like, no. Simply put, no.
Destiny blaming his actions on being off of Vyvanse. Apparently, if he's off of his meds, he doesn't have to respect people's privacy.
True.
Interesting symptoms.
True.
I want to point out that Pixie stands by that Kyla was being a good friend despite how she comes off. It's worth acknowledging that. When this story hit the wider public, Destiny gave a statement on Reddit. He titled it Legal Arc Beginning in Mysterious Ways. Such wow. Which shows how unserious he is about this whole thing. Like, what if he gets criminally convicted? Will he label that his prison arc? He says he had no intention of...
He gonna go to Reddit and be like, drop in the soap arc, joining the AB arc.
These images or videos leaking, and that he hasn't spoken up for the following reasons. He was going to pursue litigation, most likely against the hacker and sites hosting the leaks, and that he didn't want to bring publicity to the material. 3, I've been trying to move on from covering drama content as it has had an increasingly negative impact on those in my life. You want to move on?
So the thing is like, sure, he's doing all the right things, but the right thing would have just been not sharing the material in the first place. Like, period. Full stop. Like, you wouldn't even have to go through all this if you just didn't share the material, bro.
Now that the drama's about you, it's not fun anymore. People always act like they're above covering drama when they become the subject matter. 4, one person involved has expressed suicidal thoughts in relation to the matter, and I did not want to exacerbate the situation by talking about it publicly. Now that's a nice sentiment, but it's already all out there. The real reason he's quiet is because it's going through litigation. I can't help but roll my eyes when I read parts of this. I increasingly felt uncomfortable by the language being used regarding to financial punishment and wanting to teach me a lesson, along with constant references to the precariousness
precariousness
of someone's mental health. You're being punished. It's not.
Nah, I feel that. I feel that. That's relatable as hell.
Not supposed to be comfortable.
Oh
You know
my
it's
God.
bad when the top comment is, I wish my streamer watched horse porn instead.
Yeah, I mean, it's at the point where it's like Vosh. As weird as Vosh being a zoophile is, like, at least he's just watching fucking animated horse porn, and he's not sharing people's nudes. Like,
want to a woman as a horse.
I can't believe Destiny gave this guy a W. And his return stream wasn't any better, using the same song Dr. Disrespect came back with. Destiny's response isn't great.
okay, I get that it's for a meme, but come on, read the fucking room. Jesus Christ.
He's since banned all the alleged victims from his community. He said, bro, if I need to go on the sex offender list, I'm taking 20 other streamers with me.
That's like when Marjorie Taylor Greene said, like, if Matt Gaetz goes down for this, I got, like, a bunch of other people in the house that are going to go down with him. It's like, why are you waiting? If you know about people that are doing shit like Matt Gaetz, why are you using it as, like, blackmail? Same with Destiny. If you know 20 other streamers that are going to go down for it, like, and that are sex offenders, why are you trying to use it as blackmail?
Okay, lol W. Who are these 20 other streamers? Is there a Google Drive where perverts on Twitch upload other people's nudes? I repeat, how long has this been going on for? How sorry could he be? Not very if he's been covering for 20 other streamers doing the same thing. But then I'm seeing Destiny's co-host Dan on one hand disavowing Destiny for what he did, and then on the other hand threatening acquaintances.
If you're one of my coworkers out there and you're making your little bit of a strong statement about how much you condemn Destiny and everything else, you better not let me find you doing something else and signing some other bullshit off for someone else or
Yeah, is that so? What are you gonna do, Dan? What are you gonna do, Dan?
You know, being weak. Because if that's gonna be the case, either be all the way fucking in or all the way fucking out. Okay, that's all I'm gonna tell you. All these half in the door motherfuckers, too much of a pussy to do anything else. Like, I get it, fine. If you're a content creator, you rely on this for your fucking life, then fine. Then fuck off. Then say that Destiny's a fucking pervert, all that type of shit, and fucking go away forever. And that's what you should do. And fuck off permanently. Same front there, I will say that I think that Steve has changed a lot, especially over the last year.
I don't think anybody believes that. What's up, Boney?
Where he is not like that type of person anymore. You guys don't fucking you don't see it because you don't know who he is.
People don't want to hear about how much he's changed when this has all just happened.
But if you think that you're going to say a strong statement, say that you're not fucking with him right now, and come back in 2 months, fuck you, is what I have to say. You're worse than anyone. You're definitely worse than me. At least I'm honest about the situation.
No. I mean, well, yeah, honestly, actually, he's right. If you're going to complain about the situation and then show back up and watch Destiny streams, or try to be Destiny's orbiter in like 3 months, if this does blow over and it doesn't come to a federal law case or federal case, which I kind of hope it does, yeah, you are worse than Dan and Erudite, who are sticking with him and being upfront. But you're still bad. Like, you're still sweeping for a dude who basically negated other people's privacy.
Known the dude for 15 years. I can say that what he did was fucked up. He knows what he did was fucked up. He knows that he has to change, and he knows he's gonna have fucking consequences for it. But for fucking you're just a fucking weasel. All these motherfuckers that did this whole all the way in, all the way out. Any of these motherfuckers try to come back in after they've
been all the way out though, so thanks.
On their little strong weasel statement, doing it. That noise.
How do you know he's changed, Dan? Did you know he was doing this? It's such an odd statement.
I just want to know, this video is confronting Destiny. Is there a chapter where he actually does it? Oh, yep. Okay.
How is Dan playing both sides this hard? So unless you stand by Destiny, you can't ever engage with him again. It's about to be a very lonely career. Abba called out Destiny, pointing out that this was always where his lifestyle was going to lead, and says that he has no respect for anyone he's intimate with.
I think that people look at some of the standard markers for trouble and they, for some reason, project a ton of stuff onto me, but I think I'm living like one of the healthiest, fullest lives that I possibly could be.
You know, constantly having poor relationships with women over a long period of time, or in other situations, STDs, different things like that. Eventually, that hedonism comes back to bite them in the life, and they also recognize they could have been investing that time a lot better.
No, shut up, Melina, shut up. Let him talk. What do you mean? Constantly what?
Hold.
Anything you do in life that's
Even Abba was trying to be like, yo, let her speak. What the fuck?
going to increase like your ability to like have fun or do like crazy stuff or whatever is always going to carry with it like the risk of death, right?
Absolutely.
Like you have no chance of dying by falling out of a plane unless you go skydiving, but that's not an argument because never skydiving.
But it is an argument against maybe skydiving 1,000 times if you don't want to die that way.
Well, if you want to skydive 1,000 times, then fucking skydive 1,000 times. Like what's wrong? Damn, what happened to all the self-empowerment shit that you guys were talking about earlier? If your lifestyle choices are like, damn, I would never want to deal with like a crazy girl or anything like that, that's totally valid. I think that's totally fine. I accept that that's probably true for most people. But like, I'm okay with the trade-off on that for like all the benefits that I get. I like f***ing a lot of people. I like traveling a lot. I like doing drugs. I like my stream shit. That's like super fun for me.
I like doing drugs, as he owns multiple firearms.
To be like, well, doesn't bad stuff happen sometimes so you shouldn't do it? That doesn't compute to me.
Or to others, because I think the main thing with this is you have to think about the activity. The activity involves hurting others. Like even Destiny, as good as he is at what he does, probably could admit he's broken a lot of hearts. He's disappointed a lot of women. He's made a lot of people upset. It's not just how he feels about it. When you involve other people in this kind of pursuit of pleasure, other people get hurt as well. I'll stand by what I said at the beginning. I don't feel bad for Steven whatsoever because he knew what he was getting into. He was brazen about it. When he was warned, when he said, hey, this is a bad idea, this is a bad lifestyle, he said, I don't care, I want to have fun. It's fun for me. That's why I like these mentally ill women.
He's had this public...
And the funniest thing is, after Abba made that video, he still made another video reacting to Destiny's content about the dead internet theory. And it's like, bro, if you're interested in the dead internet theory, you could go to other people besides Destiny. I mean, I get that his stream, he was showing like the actual effects or whatever, but like, come on. But what's up, Miguel? How you doing, man? How you doing?
View for years. But no, guys, Dan and Kyla says he's changed in the past month.
If you're currently hanging out with like a streamer that does like denial all day, every day, or that has someone...
Did he just say the R word, denial? Because I'm pretty sure Destiny... I don't know if he's done denial, but he definitely has like downplayed a lot of like women's like sexual assault stories. Like I've seen those clips and it's like, bruh,
on a DUI or something along those lines. Like it's gonna be once we find that out, I think that's like gonna be kind of a rough one to be like why you threw someone under the bus just for clout.
Such a weird threat to throw out there to try and keep people in line. Well, I've hung out with a person who got a DUI, Dan. What are you gonna do about it? So I reached out to Destiny for some clarification. There's no point in even reading them to you because he copy and pasted the same response to every question, that he doesn't want to comment farther until he's past litigation. He clarifies, I'm aware that these answers are super unsatisfying, and it sucks it looks super guilty for me to...
Oh, it's all on like Discord DMs, bruh. I thought it would be like him talking to him. Bruh.
to respond this way.
Trash.
Even this might be saying too much, but any statement that I make could become part of a record for any court case, for any number of things that are foreseen and unforeseen to me right now. And there's a possibility that I say something that feels true, but ends up not being true in the future. He then gives an example on how seemingly throwaway comments can lead to big consequences in court. He's right, because honestly, what is he supposed to do? Incriminate himself? He's going to let the legal process play out. So I asked Destiny if there was any false narratives being pushed, and if there was anything he wanted me to say that wasn't already public. He replied with people validating prior individuals who are insane, despite there being no evidence to validate them, is crazy conspiratorial nonsense. I assume he's talking about Mr. Girl's document where he lists every girl who has ever had a problem with Destiny. Destiny continues, there's obviously multiple affected parties, but it's rich that all of these people who cry about cancel culture and innocent until proven guilty have no problems making the most insane assumptions about a man, and have no problem engaging with people who are insanely toxic when it comes to male victims of any kind of weird sexual shit. He defended himself a bit more on Twitter against Nick, saying, I didn't admit to anything. Meanwhile, you...
But didn't you text Cherry saying, let me pay your bills?
You can just read the messages where Destiny says, yeah, I know. I've damaged her severely.
I haven't admitted to anything. Highlights him admitting to everything.
Nobody cares about you being the victim because you caused all of this. There is no expectation for Kiwi Farms being the good guy. They have the leaks because you shared them with Rose. He goes on to say that people named Lav and Kelly Jean have been distributing his nudes, revenge porn in the literal truest sense. How many crazy women are part of this guy's life? At what point can I victim blame him? Ryan Beard's telling a story about how some girl named Anna is stalking you and your solution was to sext her.
He did stalk me.
That she locked... Okay, then why are you sexting with her still?
We're cool. We've been cool for a year, Max.
Okay, so you acknowledge that you've been sexting with her for a year.
Yeah, we've had on and off, sure. Max, can you acknowledge that I haven't said anything bad about her for a year? I've said we've been fine. I've said that over
The
and over.
last time I talked to you about her, like 2 weeks ago, or 16 days ago or something, you said that she locked you in the basement of her mind and it was a traumatic experience for you. Locked you in the
Locked
basement
me
of her
in
mind.
the past. In the past, Max.
Oh, okay.
Why? Tell me, Max, why hasn't Anna come forward with any of this information now? Can you tell me, or do you want me to tell everybody why?
I don't want to speak on her behalf.
Okay, I will. It's because she said she literally wants to remain friends with me.
He had his whole community feeling bad for him being stalked as he was doing this. There are parts of streams where he's condemning people for sharing nudes non-consensually.
Yeah, you know, me and Melina have problems, but I don't think I f***ed up at all in this. I'm not running around screen sharing people's nudes.
Bro, this shows that
He lied.
he knows this was bad. He was using this to expose someone. The embarrassing part about this drama isn't that a video leaked of Destiny sucking an Oscar Mayer, it's that he's thrown away his credibility. He comes off like a fraud. We did speak in the off-the-record voice call. It was not recorded, and he was giving off the vibe that things might not be what they seem, but because of litigation, I couldn't know what he was referring to. I certainly couldn't just blindly believe him. You look at his social media, and he's memeing about the whole thing, posting himself dressed as Dr. Disrespect. Yeah, Dan and Kyler, you're right. Destiny's totally rehabilitated and remorseful over this whole thing. It's very obvious. So is Destiny's career over because of this? Well,
Yeah, I was gonna say, okay, and there's evidence that he doesn't care, right? Like, using the same song as Dr. Disrespect on his comeback stream, posting shit like that, like he's gonna dress up like Dr. Disrespect, he's poking fun at the situation. It's like, if he really did change, or he really was, like, a changed person, like, that wouldn't happen.
Tim Pool can frame himself as a patriot while secretly taking Russian money. Vosh can say Lolly makes you a pedo while having a folder full of Lolly. Hassan can frame himself as more credible than the...
Oh, he had Lolly? Okay, never mind. Vosh is kind of... might be worse than Destiny, because I thought it was just horse shit, but...
media while reporting every story wrong. And Tyler Oliveira can pretend to be a journalist while just making up stories on the spot. Then why wouldn't Destiny recover
Honestly,
from this?
That's my kind of journalism. I love to spread misinformation.
Let's be honest, the real punishment is Hassan will bring this up every chance he gets.
I can't believe that there are still Destiny fans in here. He kind of made you, though. Why you so ungrateful he brought you in? No. Why not just talk it out, bro? He was your friend at one point. Dude, I don't know if you understand. We're having a conversation about this dude serially making sex tapes of the people he sometimes consensually and sometimes non-consensually records and is unconsensually sending to other people that he wants to and you're like, why don't you become friends with that guy again? I don't know, because he's gross.
And Hassan is totally right. You know how hard that is to say? Again, if you're a left-leaning political viewer, you're...
Right. Nah, it's hard to agree with Hassan, but he's right. When you're right, you're right.
Options are cooked. But seriously, it seems like if you have a political audience, you could get away with anything. You have Joe Biden's millionaire drug-fueled son getting pardoned after he said he wouldn't do it, and Donald Trump, our current sitting president, was part of an electoral scheme. But no, this is when political audiences finally take a stand. Sure, these audiences will excuse everything because they think the ends justifies the means. Hearing Lonerbox lay out his 2025 aspirations is hilarious until you realize how true it is.
I look forward to some time coming back when I can like brand myself as the only remaining political streamer who doesn't have doesn't have sex scandals and doesn't support terrorists. For some
Lonerbox, come back.
some reason, it's always one or the other.
They're very musical
Lonerbox, it's your time.
people.
Are you being serious?
Dog, what do you look? You think I made this?
This isn't music. I know they're singing, but I'm seeing just guns and shoot. This isn't a music video, Hassan.
No, it is. They do musicals about like their actions all the time.
Their terrorism.
Yeah, they're militarized action.
When I looked at it, I think the vibe that I got was like short stack, thick kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like the way like goblins get drawn in porn.
The
What? Brother, what?
Fuck?
Niggas press their luck in, they get a butt fucking straight up the ass raw dog with the rat.
Destiny was...
That was insane. That was actually insane. Oh my god.
was objectively wrong for this.
glad I was never a Vosh viewer. Jesus Christ.
Deserves all of the backlash. I think it's important to acknowledge that the people who exposed this story were not looking out for the victims at all. In fact, they were actively working against their best interests. In comes President Sunday and Beckett. Neither of these people had direct contact with Destiny, Kyla, Pixie, or anyone else involved in this story. They never even tried to reach out, yet they were the ones who posted videos outing the whole thing. The only information they have comes from Aaron leaking all of Pixie's messages. They are only working with secondhand information. In Sunday's video, he says Pixie's silence was bought in exchange for Destiny paying for her law school, leaving all the other victims out to dry.
Pixie has since said nothing publicly. There has been no evidence of legal proceedings being pursued, and she has seemingly ceased communications with the people she was previously working with, instead posting on X about taking the LSAT in pursuit of law school. It appears as though her attempt to extort Destiny has probably paid off, albeit at the expense of every other person Destiny has victimized in the past and will victimize in the future.
His evidence for this is a single tweet of her saying she took the LSAT.
Like, how do you draw all of that from I'm taking the LSAT tomorrow? Like, you realize somebody could go through a mental episode of wanting to kill themselves because of some shit like this happening, their nudes getting leaked, but still have to go and take the LSAT, right? Those two things can exist at the same time and have nothing to really do with each other. Don't get me wrong, her state probably didn't help taking the test, but I mean,
as if you could just sign up and pass this test within a month. So at this point, my mind was blown that someone would out a victim for a 100k view video while the victim was still discussing their options, and then determine their silence was bought over a tweet. No need to confirm anything. So I reached out to Pixie to try and confirm if she ever talked to Sunday or Beckett about this. Pixie has pursued litigation against Destiny. However, she did let Lonerbox, who she's dating, provide some details.
Did President Sunday reach out to Pixie one time to see if he could go live with this video, or to confirm that the draft was canceled or anything like that?
No, he didn't.
It is so incredibly selfish of Sunday and Beckett to insert themselves into a situation where they take agency away from Pixie. Because one, she's pursuing legal action, and you guys making this public gives Destiny ample time to delete evidence, while Pixie's team was still building their case. I know I look smart enough to come up with that point myself. I'm not, so take that how you will. 4 days before Sunday released his video, he had a conversation with Nick acknowledging that Pixie was suicidal over this leaking.
All I'm getting from this is she's really not going to want this to be public. She wants to hurt Steven, but she doesn't want this to be known that she's done this, and this is her.
I mean, good luck now.
Yeah.
And she desperately doesn't want her family to know. And if I cover it, there's a good chance they will find out.
Oh, 100%. Why do you think I haven't covered this at all? Like, that's my
That's my principal issue. And then you make a video of victim blaming is crazy work, Sunday. You're a piece of shit. Like, yeah, I mean, you always have been, but you're a piece of shit.
principal issue.
Yeah, that's
is like here's the thing. If anything happens to Pixie in the foreseeable future,
it all drops.
Well, he will actually be destroyed then. That will be insurmountable. Not destroyed. He'll have his channel. He'll have his audience.
Bro's literally edging. Bro's literally jerking off to the fact that, to the thought of Destiny's career ending. President Sunday doesn't care about getting women or getting guys. He cares about ending Destiny's career. That's his sexual fantasy.
There will be no
politics.
The media company dream will not be a thing. So
not be a thing. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, you're just mad that you think you're smarter and that you view Destiny as a piece of shit and he's more successful than you. Stay mad, dude. Like, I'm not even a Destiny fan, but stay mad, bro. Like,
sounds like he's getting excited over the idea of Pixie killing herself and it ending Destiny's career. This dude sounds like a psychopath. In fact, during his call with Nick, he gives a hypothetical saying as much.
Here's the thing. Let's assume I was a psychopath, and I'm not, okay? Somebody saying these things would be enough to deter me. Let's assume I was a psychopath. Let's assume I published this.
President Sunday talks with...
So you're a psychopath. Your hypothetical is saying, if you publish this, you're a psychopath. So you're a psychopath, right? You basically just outed yourself.
Nick, they both agree that going live without the victim's consent is a bad idea, and President Sunday does it anyway. Actual psychopath behavior. President Sunday's justification for this was that Pixie was engaging in extortion against Destiny.
Fortunately, Pixie did the worst thing that someone in her position could do. Rather than seek legal recourse or make a public statement denouncing the violation of her consent and dignity that these leaks represented, she seems to have ultimately chosen to try and profit from the situation by extorting Destiny.
I don't understand how Pixie discussing what her next step is or what the correct form of punishment should be equaling extortion, because that's how most...
Right, and this was like more of like her texting somebody in confidence saying she doesn't know what to do. And this guy's making it like a whole conspiracy. Like...
civil cases start. Destiny even says in a statement on Reddit that Pixie at no point made a specific or explicit request for compensation. So I asked President Sunday, did you talk to a lawyer, or is this just your layman interpretation of the law? Because let's be real, I don't think there's any way she gets charged for this. President Sunday says, yes, I spoke with lawyers I know. You know what their answer was? Obviously. I asked, can you link me to the statement from the lawyer you spoke with, saying these DMs count as extortion? And he says they were IRL conversations, so no. So I asked who the lawyer was because I would love to confirm this. And he replies, it's someone I know. Go find your own lawyer. It's so obvious to me that he's lying. You're telling me that you talked to a lawyer but didn't get any...
Just go talk to Pisco. He's literally a lawyer. Didn't he get his bar? Like, I think he passed the bar. Like, go talk to Pisco. Somebody that was literally in Destiny's community and has distanced himself. Like,
on the record statement for your video? Sure. To confirm it even farther, President Sunday did a stream leaking all of our DMs. His editor Kilo came forward exposing that President Sunday never talked to a lawyer.
He claims he's consulted lawyers about this. Originally, he told me, Kilo, you're not a lawyer. I was raised by one and took law courses in university. But then when he was talking to Aiko, she asked if he spoke to lawyers, and he said, I spoke to people who know lawyers.
Who did you speak to?
Several people I can't name, but
just
lawyers, trust me on this.
Lawyers.
People who know lawyers.
But then, when he was talking with Willy Mac, he said he spoke directly to lawyers, but won't mention who.
So Sunday is just lying. Lying to make the victim seem like a bad guy so he doesn't look insane.
Also, saying lawyer and then the apostrophe S, like there could be multiples, like it's either you spoke to one lawyer or you spoke to lawyers. In a conversation like this, it's either you spoke to one lawyer or lawyers. It's not possibly more. Like, if you only spoke to one lawyer right now and you're potentially going to go speak to more, you say, like, hey, I talked to one and I have a couple more that I'm going to talk to. You don't do that.
For making his video.
Beckett of Krabs, myself, and President Sunday sat down to present evidence, put together a timeline, and establish what the mission of the project was. I was a little anxious, but also excited to learn what President Sunday had, and I wanted to find out what the justification was for coming out with the story, the nuke. But we started the meeting, and after only about 10 minutes, I interjected. Sunday didn't have a nuke. I'm not even sure Beckett had much of anything. And the only real reason for publishing that was given to me was that because...
Even the editor knew. Even the editor knew. That's crazy.
Pixie was supposedly trying to extort Destiny. She was somehow implicated in the cover-up efforts by Destiny and his associates, and therefore had forsaken her right to privacy? Or something like that? I don't know.
Sunday does every stream in front of a wall of books, draws himself sitting on a pile of books. He's so knowledgeable, repeatedly calling me stupid in DMs for asking straightforward questions. Meanwhile, he's comfortable just making things up because he's above saying I don't know or I could be in the wrong. The dumbest people I talk to seem to think they're geniuses. Just a pattern I'm recognizing. He's lying about being an intellectual the same way he lied about talking to a lawyer. I'm not convinced he could read Dr. Seuss. He's malicious, he's acting like a psychopath. He outed a victim's story when she was working on the court case, slandered her.
An American citizen who finds themselves a victim of revenge pornography has several valid actions they can take. Let's go over 3. First, they can seek legal recourse. Second,
which she did.
They may make a public statement denouncing the person who leaked the materials and violated their consent.
And then she didn't want to do, but she was, one of her things was seeking legal action.
In fact, this can be done.
Like, I don't think she was going to be like, behind closed doors, give me money. I think she was going to go the legal route of suing him. Like,
in conjunction with the first option I mentioned. And finally, they can choose to do nothing. They can stay silent and hope that it all blows over. And this is their right. But Pixie did not do any of these.
She was in the middle of doing the first 2 things, and then you robbed her of the third. But yeah, keep acting like the good guy. He's the type of person I hope never becomes a successful YouTuber. If you're a victim, why would you ever want to share your story? He's shown it's going to leak, then people you've never talked to are going to publicize it. You will be vilified by them because they don't care about you or your legal case at all. If I had any advice for Sunday, it would be to apologize to Pixie and the victims, not just post a pinned comment half backtracking what you're saying. Also shower, get a haircut, go outside.
Yeah, you greasy as fuck. I was I was trying to avoid not, you know, going in on him, but like, it's hard not to, man. It's hard not to. Like, look at him. Bro got like 3 chins. Bro got the neck beard of a lifetime. Like, even my facial hair ain't that bad, bro. His hair? Where's your hairline at? Like, let it go. Go bald. Or fucking cut it short enough so you can do a comb over. What you don't got the hairline for long hair, big dog. Like, especially not straight back or straight in front like that. Pull that shit back, bro. Do something. Do something. Get contact. Well, I don't know. Motherfucker might look worse with contacts.
You aren't mature enough to cover these sort of things if you don't have basic hygiene. The video made by Sunday's former editor details the clown show that was this
And also, this being what his avatar was for so long, it all makes sense now.
Investigation. It's the most comedic tragedy I've ever watched.
With all due respect, I'm not sure you think you know what you're saying when you say you have to, because when you
I didn't say have to. I didn't
Really?
say that. You said that. I said you have an expectation, and you said, well, I don't have to do that. And I'm not saying you have to do anything. I'm saying there's an expectation that you do this thing. When you're communicating with someone in private, they're expecting that you're not going to show that to other people without asking them first.
Okay, but if they're asleep, they're not expecting, are they?
If they're asleep?
They're asleep, yeah.
So bro said if they're asleep, they can't consent. What do you, like, you're fucking weird.
If people are asleep, they're not expecting anything. They're kind of just out, right?
Are you trolling me right now?
No, I'm actually making a serious point.
The conversations he had with his editor are psychotic.
Why the f are you adding extra risks to this? We're already in enough danger as is.
You think we're in danger?
Danger? Yeah, what? Danger?
I don't think
we are in
Skylar, I am the danger.
Tremendous danger. So you don't think, for example, if you said something that was able to be effectively spun by someone like Nick DeOrio that managed to get some traction that cast aspersions on my entire...
So he's worried about it being spun. But if it was the truth, you would have no worry about it being spun. Right? Like, if you're telling the truth, why are you worried?
Channel, that income plummeted, so I can't pay you. That doesn't affect you?
It's about me. How does this affect Sunday? How can I manipulate my editor into staying quiet? I also talked to Beckett, who worked somewhat with Sunday and dropped his video on the same day. Now, his wasn't nearly as bad, but he still went forward with the video knowing only secondhand information. Really third hand because he's getting it from Sunday. Recognize you're getting your information secondhand. At any point, did you try to reach out to Pixie?
No. But to be clear, this was a very brief period, a couple of days. I clearly did.
You had time to reach out to Pixie. You had time. Like, even if you same day uploaded it, you had time. You just didn't want to.
Want to reach out to people. There was actually a conversation where I wanted to reach out to Lonerbox. Because I don't know Pixie.
But why did you reach out to Lonerbox?
I didn't. But I...
But you know Lonerbox, and you didn't reach out to him. What are you fucking doing?
But that's partly because of what Loner had just done on the stream. I think that's a mistake, by the way. I'll own that mistake. But I obviously wanted to reach out to people. For instance, I went to FPS Diesel for an optics check on the DMs and what he thought. I was reaching out to Nick.
Nick and Diesel, no less than Beckett and Sunday. What does going to them do? Realize why I'm so critical, though, of you and Sunday? Because, hold on, you're telling me, though, that this was done over a couple of days. You didn't bother to reach out to Lonerbox or Pixie, and you guys went for the story anyway. How did you even get the draft? Was that from Aaron too?
Sorry, get the
draft.
What, the
Is Aaron, Pixie's draft statement.
Is Aaron?
Yeah, I showed that in the DMs. Yeah.
Is Aaron the editor, or is that Sunday's real name?
So you guys have a draft from her. It seems like she's going to come out in some way because she has a fucking written draft. Like, it just seems, it blows my mind, man. Like, you've been somebody where I've been told over and over again, nah, dude, Copenseed is great. He does great videos, takes a lot of care with them. And it's like, to me, I look at this and I'm like...
Look at it, he's breaking down because he's like, fuck, I just ruined my credibility. Because, like, Willy Mac is kind of big, right? Like, it doesn't he have, like, a couple million subscribers? Oh, I thought he had a couple million at least. Huh. Damn, his shit didn't even break 1 million views. I might be thinking of Nick DeOrio. But, like, I feel like Willy Mac's been around for a long time, and Willy Mac does, like, really good videos. So it's like, he deserves a couple mil.
Like, I cannot believe, it just seems like such a selfish story.
Well, hold on. Let me be clear. I don't think selfish is fair. I think I can take a lot of criticism. I think there are issues there, but I don't think selfish is fair.
In what way is that not selfish?
Well, because I didn't do this to get clout or money or like acclaim. I thought this was going to end in my fucking channel.
Why?
Why would you think that?
Sunday was going to release a video. I thought, I know Sunday, and I thought what needed to be done at the same time was painting a picture of what happened behind the scenes to explain why so many people had these DMs. What I needed was Sunday's DMs with Straighter Aid. I didn't expect this to be a video where I'd get like pats on the back.
Why you think it would damage you?
What, the video?
Yeah, before you made it.
Because I recognized that once these were coming out, the people who were releasing them would get rightfully a fair amount of criticism for doing so.
Then why
but
would
I
you
also
release it?
because, well, for some, I've said publicly as well, if Sunday wasn't releasing his video, I wouldn't have released the same video. I probably wouldn't have acted in the same way. But Sunday looked at these are coming out. He wants to talk about it. Well, okay, it needs a companion.
Willy Mac's face is just, that's relatable, bro. It's like, what?
Because he is jumping off of a bridge. You're doing it too, dude? Oh, man.
Well, like, and again, that's why I'm saying it's, it's something I expected to do damage to me. But also, what was the other option? Lie about it?
No, the other option is to do what
hold on.
literally everybody else did, and you just let everybody else shoot themselves in the foot if he's going to be reckless with the victim and her claims and hijack her story. Like, you realize she was talking to lawyers during this, and they're gathering information. Fucking crazy.
Listen, I'm on many levels, I'm with you. And I think one of my constant comments through this is, how does this reach me? I am like 5th person down the chain. How does this reach me with no one doing any of that?
It just makes me go, like, how were you the person to feel like you should make that video?
Because I thought it was such a fucking mess that at least I could make an uneditorialized.
Yours I don't think was as bad, but just the premise of this whole thing, when I talk to everybody, it's just...
I think it is a mess.
Beckett is the only person I talked to that acknowledged wrongdoing and said he would...
I was gonna say, at least he can come through and realize that he fucked up, but he still shouldn't have released the video.
Go about things differently in the future. Takeaway seems to be what I think is the most important thing, and that's that you have to reach out to Pixie. You got to make clear, or Lonerbox, and you got to make clear of like, hey, this is what I know. This is the story I'm thinking of running. I want to know like what's going on with this. Are you guys pursuing anything? And then they could go ahead and like give you the guidelines to it. Like, hey, look, we're talking legally. We'd rather this not come out.
Yeah, like again, I'm not defending.
Yeah, them Sunday and everybody not reaching out, Sunday and Beckett and even the editor not reaching out, they took away the option for Pixie and Lonerbox to come out and, announce that they're taking legal action.
Every part of this, and I don't want to. I mean, this is how I started the call, right?
Which is more than any other person I talked to. He became very critical of himself, especially as things moved off the record. I respect him for that.
When I met you, I admit my first thoughts was a trick. You look so good, huh? I suck on your daddy's dick.
Every day that passes,
I forgot Biggie is wild.
The drama gets more hilarious. Destiny and Hassan are watching each other's content nukes while refusing to view their own. I get he's going through a legal case, but at some point he needs to address that video. During my off-the-record conversation with
That is true.
Beckett, he asked me a pointed question. When would you associate with Destiny again? If he was part of some drama as a side character and I interviewed him, I would do it then, but I don't think I could just go hang on his podcast anymore. Destiny and I were not friends. However, I have a lot of respect for him. He's the only major creator in the political space that I have covered that actually looks stuff up, reads first-hand information, and directly engages with his critics.
I mean, fair. You do have to respect him for that, but past that, he's lost all credibility. He's lost all respect. Like, you can respect him for what he did in the past, but...
Seem like a low bar, but it's rare. He's somebody that has always demanded accountability from others, but right now when he's objectively in the wrong, he's not taking any of it. He's calling Nick a hypocrite for saying innocent until proven guilty with Ethan, but not treating himself that way. Nick then makes very clear, you shared Pixie's intimate videos with a random 19-year-old OnlyFans model, and then posted logs where you admitted to severely damaging her, and he links the messages of Destiny doing just that. I'm the kind of person that could forgive anyone for about anything, but there needs to be remorse, and he's obviously not there yet.
Nah. There's lines. There's a lot of things you can't forgive people for.
His coworkers cover for him saying he is, but I don't see it. I don't see how anyone could take him seriously until then. I also want to emphasize how good the video was by President Sunday's former editor, Kilo. He actively tried to correct the record, and his video has very few views. He gave up money to try and do the right thing, and I think that should be acknowledged. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe.
Good job, Willy Mac. That was a really good breakdown of the situation, the current situation. At least as current as a day ago. No, yeah, that was a good video. Fuck Destiny, fuck Dan, fuck Erudite, fuck anybody defending him. Just that simple.